So what is brave to you? When we started this time together all those months ago, brave was trying to be consoling in a time of controlled chaos. Brave was staying home and making it work, whatever your it was. It was learning to use new technology. It was figuring out how to get your work done while homeschooling your children. It was fearing and then perhaps experiencing the loss of your job. It was worrying about your organization's revenues and viability at a very fragile time. And it was hoping that you had a good enough banking relationship that you could get a PPP loan to keep your organization going. It was turning on a dime from being an after-school sports program for kids to feeding 1,000 hungry children every day. It was being a group that had been working with medical equipment for a long time, who now all of a sudden was working domestically instead of internationally and figuring out how to bulk buy masks and now get infrared thermometers so we can look towards reopening. It was about bravery of our healthcare workers who day after day ran into the fire and showed us how to be brave. That bravery was inspiring and humbling. Brave was being resourceful, determined. It was being positive in the face of adversity. It was insisting that whatever your work was, it remained important. Brave was continual flexibility and adjustment. Brave was patience and perseverance and kindness towards others. I hope every once in a while towards yourself. And it went on and on like that, rationing your exposure to the news that was relentlessly grim. The horror of passing over 100,000 people dead in the United States of America, with almost no public grief being expressed by our leaders. They were just numbers on a screen, unless they were yours, of course. We are the country in the world that has the highest death rate. It was truly awful. And then we experienced the barbaric murder of George Floyd. And what had already been truly terrible got distinctly worse, because we all knew it happened. And we saw and we heard a man who was crying out for his mother and his children as he died, horrifically, tragically, for the longest 8 minutes and 43 seconds of my life. We witnessed malice, lengthy and sustained hatred, when it was there before our eyes and we could not avert them. Whew. So now what does brave mean? I'm sure that all of you have read countless statements by nonprofits and businesses of solidarity and outrage, and we have been glad to read those and see the outcry. But I was especially proud of my colleague, Yvonne Van Heidsma, who last week on this post brought the question quite firmly back to each of us. Organizational statements are well and good, but really, it's personal responsibility that is key. I have kept pondering the word decent, how to be decent, respectful, and fair in a world of systems that are indecent, completely disrespectful, and manifestly unfair. Yvonne said, do your homework. The Bible says to love justice, to show mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. I believe that many people who work in nonprofits are there because they have a calling to the work. They have chosen the work they do because it allows them to live their values and to make some contribution to seeing the world as more decent, fair, and just. We are called at this moment to look with clear eyes at ourselves. And for those of us who have to recognize our privilege over and over, we need to work to continue to work and diligently and with difference work to see that all can flourish and that we can live in a world of which we can be a little bit proud. That's going to take some bravery. That's going to take some honesty. and that's going to take some different choices. Yvonne and our friend Vernay Smith are going to model bravery for us on this Friday and the following Friday. I encourage you to participate in that conversation. We have some other role models to guide us as well, and we should look at attention to their example. One of the few things that has given me heart in this terrible time is that blocks-long assertion on the street in D.C. that leads to the White House. Black lives matter. May be true. And then there's also George Floyd's little daughter, who I heard her say, "My daddy changed the world." May it be true this time as it has not been in the past. May we see that the only way that that can be true is for each one of us to define brave by doing our homework, speaking up and speaking out, and refusing to support all the systems that diminish the humanity of all the precious souls with whom we share this earth. I remain hopeful because you are on the planet, each one of you. Excelsior, ever upward. Excelsior, beloveds.